So I am so excited to be back today, and I thought something that would be really fun in order to get to know me a little bit better as the designer behind the Dina Burton collection is to do a Q&A. And I have invited my dear friend Martasia Person here today to conduct the Q&A, and here we go.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So, I love your designs. I just want to start out by asking you, where are you from?
I am originally from Chicago, Illinois, and I ventured out to California by way of Washington, D.C. for school.
Nice. So is that where you received your educational background?
Yes, I went to college in Washington, D.C. I went to Howard University, and there I majored in English and I minored in radio, television, and film. So I've always been very passionate about creating, and majoring in English gave me more of a solid background, and then I was able to express my creativity through studying radio, television, and film production.
Nice.
So, and after studying at Howard University and after I graduated, I moved to California, and when I came to California is when I decided to go back to school for fashion design, and I went to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising here in California.
Nice. So you mentioned that you are passionate about creativity. What else are you passionate about aside being just creative or being a fashion designer?
Well, I've always been creative, and I feel like the different things that I'm creative about just kind of brings everything full circle for me. And I love traveling. I've had the opportunity to travel with my collection, which is a plus for me. I'm inspired by certain things in traveling, the things that I see when I'm traveling. I always kind of try to bring a piece of that to my collections.
Yes.
I'm also inspired by food. I love cooking, and I love going to really nice restaurants.
Nice.
I also am very passionate about interior decorating, and it's one of the things that I really kind of wanted to do before I ventured into fashion design.
Nice.
So
you mentioned that at Howard University you started off doing or minoring in film and production. How did you transition into the fashion industry? Like, how did you start Dina Burton?
So when I first moved to California, I was doing projects here and there that were more based on film and television. But then I kind of got more into the corporate side of the industry, and I started working for the Directors Guild of America. And it was a good experience, but I wasn't being as creative as I wanted to be. So one day, I'll never forget, I was sitting at my desk and I was like, I literally felt like I was dying because I wasn't creating like I really wanted to do once I got to California. And that's when I decided I'm gonna go back to school for fashion design.
Nice. So you mentioned that you've been able to travel with your designs. What are some places that you traveled to?
Well, I've been able to travel to Singapore. I actually launched my collection in a store called Joe Kilda in Singapore, which is an amazing experience. I've been able to travel to Africa. I've traveled to Nigeria, doing some charity work there, and actually doing a fashion show with a organization called Destiny's Children. I've traveled to Jamaica, and with the different fashion weeks, I've done Miami. I've been able to do San Francisco. So the fashion design has also been like an avenue for me able to take my collection and just share it with the world.
Nice. What was your most memorable take from Fashion Week?
My most memorable take from Fashion Week, 2 years ago, I was able to actually open up for Los Angeles Fashion Week, which was like a very big feat.
Big deal.
Yes. And what came out of that was something that I didn't even imagine would happen once I did the Fashion Week, and that's that I got a write-up in Women's Wear Daily. Nice. Right, and I mean Women's Wear Daily, it's WWD acronym for Women's Wear Daily, and it's just, for me, that was pretty special.
Yes, that's a huge publication.
Yes, in the industry,
Nice.
Yeah.
So what is next for Dina Burton? What are some of your future endeavors?
Some of my future endeavors are, I definitely want to have a brick and mortar. I want to have a store where people, I know that a lot of things right now are trending toward e-commerce. But it's just my belief that, you know, there are people out there that still want a shopping experience.
Yes.
And I want to give that to them. I want to be up close and personal. I want people to be able to come into a store and actually feel and touch the garments, you know, be able to try it on. You know, I know that a lot of women are challenged with time, hence why a lot of women shop via e-commerce, but I know that there are a group of women that actually still really love shopping, like going to a physical store. So yeah, so that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to happening.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I would consider you a very experienced fashion designer, and I too am a fashion designer, but I'm still in my beginning stages and there's still a lot for me to learn. What would be some advice that you would give any aspiring fashion designers out there?
The one, for me, I think the biggest thing is, you know, really taking time to hone your craft. You know, studying, there are people who are naturally gifted at this, and I'm not saying that you have to get an education in fashion design, because if you're naturally gifted, then, you know, it's possibly that you don't need to have a formal education in it. But I do definitely want people to know that it's like you really need to take time to learn and not only learn how to design, but learning the business of design. It's one thing to just be creative, but it's another thing to actually learn what this business is about. It's two different things. You can do it as a hobby, or you can get into it and really do it as a business. And I think also another thing that I would say is to kind of attach yourself with a person that's been in the industry for a while, get to know like what the process is before you actually jump into it. Like if you can learn from somebody else's mistakes, I think that it would be good to have a mentor, you know, somebody that you can, you know, learn from.
So do you feel like mentorships or relationships have helped you develop overall?
I would say probably, you said mentorship or relationship. I would say relationships.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for that special mentor. Yeah, I have not found that special mentor yet. Yeah, so I would say relationship. Yeah.
Well, let's get a little bit funner.
Okay.
Okay. So, tell us something super quirky about yourself that most people do not know.
Okay, don't laugh.
Okay, I will.
But I think the quirkiest thing about me that people don't know, I think my closest friends know, but I am a fanatic for Korean dramas.
Korean dramas?
Yeah.
Like soap operas?
Well, kind of, yeah, they are kind of. And you know, the thing about them is they're like, okay, first of all, the cinematography, which I'm really into, is like so amazing. The storylines are so amazing. And then, I don't know, it's just something about the culture I kind of really like too.
Are you able to understand what they're saying?
I'm able to understand because, one, I've been watching them for a while now, and I know some of the language, but everything's in subtitles. So
can we see some Dina Burton inspired Korean attire out there one day?
Well, you know what, yes, and I would really, really love, this is the one thing when I went to Korea, the shopping experience in Korea is like nothing I've ever seen. Like seeing the people just kind of clamor for certain brands was just like really interesting for me, and it really made me desire to be recognized as an international designer. Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay. So to close it off,
yes.
If people want to get in contact with Dina Burton, how would they do that? How can people reach you?
Okay. So probably the best way would be to go to my website, which is dinaburton.com. And, you know, I'm really about making this business and this platform that I have be interactive. So, you know, I want people to not only sign up, but I want to interact with my customer. I want to get to know her and what her wants and needs are. So again, dinaburton.com is where you can reach me.
Nice. Send us feedback.
Yes.